I'm gonna bring the Dunbarton Board of Selectmen meeting to order for Thursday, August 5th, 2021. We have a full Board of Selectmen here present, Town Administrator is present. Leo Martell is taping for the general public, and it will be uploaded by Linda Nickerson to YouTube and the town website. Okay, guys, I've got some old business here.
I can make a motion to approve the regular minutes of July 22nd as amended.
Okay. Motion made, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
That was the regular minutes, right? Aye.
Make a second motion to approve the non-public minutes of July 22nd as amended.
Motion made
Second.
and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Were these ones sealed at all? I don't think so, huh? No, I don't think there's any need for that one. Okay, I'm gonna open up to public comment. To start, anybody from the public? Don?
I suggest that we find the geographic center of Dunbarton and mark it on that photograph up there.
With what, like a red dot or something?
Put a red dot or something along that line.
Red grease pencil, you can always change it if you ever wanted to.
Yeah. I would think so.
I got one at home.
Make sure we don't mark it. You probably know where the center is, don't you?
It's in there.
Alright, we'll nominate Fred to do that.
Okay.
Anything else, Don? It's open for public comment. You just showed up. Do you have anything for us?
Nope, just here for the one day.
Okay.
Oh, well, never mind.
Alright, you good, Don? Alright, closing the public comment. We're gonna go to town business now. Do I have a motion to accept some Old Home Day money?
Yeah, per RSA 31:95-B, subparagraph 3, Roman number B, to accept $100 from the Old Home Day vendor's fees to use towards event expenses. And we have a $100 check,
It's actually 4 checks, $25.
okay?
Okay, motion made.
Second.
Motion and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, good job collecting that money, guys. What was the amount from last 2 week ago meeting?
It would be $225, cause we've
I
added.
thought it was more than that for some reason.
Nope.
Alright. Okay, so getting that past us, the Old Home Day Committee is, giving us an update, for August 14th. You guys are on the agenda. Go ahead. Just for the record, when everybody's talking, for the, just state your name.
John Stevens.
Okay.
Yeah, I understood that you all wanted to look at the dollars, finances and whatnot.
We didn't really wanna look at them, John. All we were concerned with is, in previous years, there wasn't enough money from Old Home Day to cover both the handicap bath and your regular baths. So as a select board, we helped you out with the handicap baths so that both the library and this building didn't need to be open to the public during that day.
Right.
And if there's enough funds in there to cover from what you're getting for tables, plus we upped your, Old Home Day recreational fund, I think by $400 earlier this year. We were hoping you had enough money to cover it on your own.
I thought we were at 5,700, is that true? Or are we at 6,100?
No, I don't think you're in the right fund there,
I'll go get a copy of the.
Well,
Make
it's,
sure.
yeah, my last impression was our, for Old Home Day, it was gonna be, $5,700, the total was 6,000, but 300 of that went towards, Memorial Day or something. So that is a number I haven't heard other than that, yeah.
But you're talking about more than funds for just Old Home Day, aren't you, when you're looking at 5,700?
Well, there's 5,700, and then there's, for Memorial Day, so it came out like 6,100 bucks or something.
Okay,
Yeah,
And we spent money on new wreaths and that for Memorial Day. But, normally it covers the Hopkinton band, but they canceled on us, so there was no money there.
and this year, we are having only one band.
and,
That we are paying for, so the, bottom line as of this date is, we're at a total expenses of, 5794. But then there is the vendor fees and food, sales, and all that at the moment adds up to about 1,225. Bring us down to 4569, and available to spend yet is 1,130 as of today.
And that covers also that we can afford to pay for the, porta potties. So
Right.
basically, we don't need any additional funds at this time,
okay.
but.
That's really all we had for a question, we didn't, your regular report at the end of the year on the Old Home Day
Yeah.
is fine for us, other than that.
Yeah,
Unless the
now-
other salesmen have anything more than that.
Now, those numbers can vary, couple of ways. If there are,
Thank you.
performers who don't show up, or if there are vendors who don't put it, whatever, or the, food sales is, less than planned. And also the chairs and, table orders, this year Taylor did not have anybody available to deliver them, so we are gonna have to do that. But if they do come up with someone available, that there will be an added charge there. But we are still short of the, granted budget.
Now, your whole expenditures last year, just so you know, showed at 1708.72.
Cause we canceled Old Home Day.
Oh, so these were never, these are just the small ones that needed to be paid.
Yep.
Okay,
I
the
think
ones
they,
that are already in the works.
I think they might have bought some, like a tent and some other things.
Okay,
Yeah.
So John, your budget was 5,700, and you've collected 325 in table fees, which the selectmen have authorized you to spend,
Mm-hmm.
so that puts you just over 6,000. Of which, how much is spent to date, Dave? 70% remaining?
70.02. Yeah, so 1708.72 was the expenditure so far. But they've got more coming in, obviously, I would think. 'Cause he knows, he just gave us a roundup of
Right,
everything it's gonna cost to run.
right, but basically, because are paying for 2 or 3 less bands, our costs are down. We have the talent show, which is going to take the place of that, and that, of course, is at no cost.
Yeah.
So at this point, we are not up to budget yet.
Basically, what we're looking at food is just our goal is to break even. It's cost versus, selling it at the low prices,
Yeah.
old fashioned prices.
Right.
The free ice cream, we've got that all figured in.
Yep.
So everything is covered, and if we can balance the books, we're gonna do our shopping on, I think Thursday. And at Sam's Club, and that Tom and I could do the shopping.
I heard the PTO was originally Parent Teachers Association was
Bless you.
supposed to, help out with the food sales and they dropped out.
No, but now.
The parent, teachers, parent,
Oh, yeah, they bailed on us, they can't, they said they may have some people to help set up and tear down, but we haven't heard from them. Basically, all our volunteers, and you were talking about volunteers and that, it's all garden club people,
Yeah.
for the majority of it. And, Enid's been, trying to recruit as many people as possible, and she's got it all worked out, and,
Well, the good part about that is you can control those nice old-fashioned prices.
yeah. So, basically, we're not out to make money, but we're not out to lose
Yeah.
money either. And, with the talent show, Town Hall Restoration is involved with it because we're doing upstairs and, they'll have, I just put together a nice picnic table that, Home Depot donated to us, and, we'll have, a raffle, and we'll have that set out, so people can buy raffle tickets. Linda Landry and Mark are gonna be selling tickets around the territory. And then like for the ice cream scoopers, well, I've got you two, I've got, John Wiggins, so we got a lot of, Judy VK's gonna be there, and, Lean, she's been working out, trying to. But I've got town officials and that, I'll represent the cemetery, and
Yeah,
so we got about 10 scoopers altogether.
oh, nice.
So, we should, and we're gonna have the ice cream, so it's easy to scoop, so. Everybody will just have one flavor, and,
Are you gonna set it out in the sun?
Yeah.
no, we've got a freezer, and we'll set it at like 26 degrees or something like that.
Can I just
Tom knows
ask
about
what
that.
the total amount was that you've earmarked, that you've sold so far, so I understand and know what I'm expecting? And
So,
what do you have earmarked of your budget already spent? Do you have a total amount you
Oh,
shared
what
with
about
us?
$1,500, I think?
And over and about, the 5,700?
No,
no,
Below.
We're below.
You
We're
still,
about
you still have a
1,000
little,
below.
so that'll give you enough funds to maybe, use towards the food and the ice cream and everything
Right,
else?
Exactly.
Still $1,130.
yeah,
and they've already done all that.
right,
They already have, okay,
Yeah,
When you were out, John went through it all.
okay, alright,
no,
And he said they're, at the end of the year, their old home day budget is all we need to go by, we don't really need to know the ins and outs.
yeah,
At the
yeah,
selectmen meeting, we only cared if they needed additional help with the,
pay for the toilets,
yes, and,
Yeah.
and we don't, they said they're all set.
okay.
one thing that we're looking at doing, and I wanted to run it by you first, is, the Department of Health and Human Services has a vaccination, van. And I haven't I've got the contact information, but I wanted to see if it's available for Old Home Day. They carry both Johnson, Madura, and Pfizer, and it's all free. So, we can publicize that and get anybody that's vaccinated or hasn't had their second shot or whatever. But, with everything on the rise, we thought that might be a good, thing. And also, when I'm gonna do a post here, once I find out about this, but, basically, mask optional, we're gonna have, mask and hand sanitizer available. So, we're trying to be, sensible about it and make people feel comfortable.
did you rescind that requirement for the?
Yeah, it's all
Passport.
recommended,
Right,
yeah, recommended is the key word,
okay, thank you,
yeah, and for anybody 12 plus,
correct.
that can get the vaccine.
I don't have an issue with that, the only thing is, I'm not sure, cause we've never done it before, if it would pull too many people from out of town, that would kind of block up the parking for the residents.
It'll help our vendors, so it's a win-win situation, but, I think that, basically it's gonna be on the Dunbarton community page, on our town page, things like that, so we're not gonna go any
How long
wider.
would they be here?
Huh?
Could they be here for like, say, maybe 2 hours, have a window for them?
I'll have, once I talk to them, I'll find out.
I think if you book that van, they'd like it to stay at the event, only because they don't wanna, they don't wanna double book it and have to move it all over the state, but
Yeah,
I was also thinking we could possibly talk with, the fire department or something, have the van, you know, not right here on there, but maybe right
Have
over
it right
there.
on the corner where they park the ambulance.
Yep, just so that people can park over there a little easier, and it's right there, and it's a good spot to send people to.
And they have a little more privacy rather than the middle of the commons.
Yeah, so, you'd have to talk with John Wigan about that, but
Yeah,
if it's over there, I have no issue with it, do you?
I don't have an issue with it.
No, the thing is, I'll be surprised if you get that many, because I've seen some of the news programs, and they'll have it be 20 people will get the shot, which is better than nothing.
right.
But the thing is, I think it still adds a service that we're providing to our community, so I think it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Even if we get 2 people get a shot, it's a win-win.
And the other thing is, you know, if, they have the vaccines for the children, 12+, and then a lot of people can bring their
Yeah.
children and get it done, you know? And it's on Saturday, so people are gonna be more available, and no excuse.
I'd say if it's available, go for it.
That's what I was gonna bring up, the fact that a lot of people haven't thought about getting their kids done yet. They might have that opportunity,
Yeah,
it's, you know, it's something you set.
You
your
get ice
agenda.
cream if you go get that shot, kids.
and, Mark Lang is certified to do the shots also. So we've got some, you know, if they're short of personnel for doing it, Mark said he'll step up, he's done 6-hour shifts, you know,
And if anybody has trouble,
doing it, he works.
fire department's right there.
Yeah, so, you know,
I'd say it's a worthwhile thing to look at, and the thing is, I think we got consensus from us to go for it.
okay,
And just double check with John Wigan about, you know, parking and,
yeah,
I know
I'll
that
give John a
the
call,
whole front's gonna stay open, whether it's coned off or something, that.
yeah,
we wanna
And the
make
thing is,
sure
you may wanna give notice that he would be the backup for if there was any anaphylaxis.
yeah, and having, if we put the van at the, fire department, I think that's more important, because that way people still have some privacy. It's away from the common and the crowd, and they'll feel maybe more comfortable about getting it, you know, cause they don't want people to know that they didn't have their shots, you know.
Right.
I think we should put it on Channel 9 News that we're gonna do it.
You know, believe it or not, Channel 9 covers a lot of the organizations that are doing it.
We'll give you a promo for Old Home Day and the fact that.
I don't think you should do that,
Huh?
we don't have the parking for that,
Oh, parking?
yeah, we don't have the facilities for that many people, I can tell you that.
I'd probably get 10 cars.
I don't know, but if you get 500, we're,
No, the thing is, you get, the vaccination is available.
Yeah.
And what we're doing for our town, we're giving them the opportunity, your kids haven't got it yet, I agree with Bob, it's an opportunity, have ice cream and get your COVID shot.
Yeah. Rewards.
yeah,
And, on the, talent show, we're getting people to sign up in that, but we thought what we'd do is take maybe 15 minutes out of the hour for open mic, and that for, you know, at 2, 3, and 4 o'clock, you know.
you know, the other thing too
And
is,
that way, you know, and they can register the day of the event.
to get that van, I'm sure that the state's gonna advertise it somewhat, because they don't wanna send it someplace and not have it used, so. I'm sure if you do get that van, there is gonna be something at the state level where it's advertised that it's gonna be here on such and such a day,
And Merrimack, they had Merrimack for like police night out,
yeah.
and they didn't get a lot, but they got some, and as I said, one is worthwhile.
Yeah.
So you're right, it may or may not be on Channel 9, depending on what they require, who knows?
Well, I think that, you know, an event like this in Dunbarton, why, you know, get it started, and they just put it in the paper on the 31st, so, you know, a lot of people aren't thinking about it, you know.
Yeah,
So hopefully we can get the jump on them and give them a good venue to be involved with.
okay, I saw John had another hand up.
Yeah, John Stevens, yes, we spoke to folks in the town and whatnot, in the fire department, and both have extra masks and sanitizer bottles that we are going to tap into that. Make it available to the vendors, to the public and whatnot.
Okay,
Okay, is that okay to use those masks you got?
I don't see any reason why not, we're
We
done
have
our
a
one
law
for
from the elections.
Yeah,
It's for the citizens of Dunbarton, go
Yeah.
for it.
and then just for info, there will be a slight change in the routing of cars during the parade. Okay, that's, at 9:30 in the morning, traffic will be routed, southbound, say, from, off onto Winslow and over to Mansion, and then Mansion down to 13. Okay, and northbound would be the opposite of that. Don is going to put out a notice on Facebook and whatnot about those are the hours, and the vendors are being told to please get here prior to that.
And the police department, that's coordinated with the police
Which they
department.
already, yes. That, they are the ones who came up with this alternative approach. With us, we and they worked it out.
Good.
Okay, Fred?
Yeah, Fred Mullen, I've got a question on the mask.
Yeah.
Are those the N35s,
No,
No,
the disposable?
they're the
Yeah.
disposable ones.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause I was
They did
gonna-
have some similar to N35 that were sent for the staff at the voting, but
Yeah,
not for the general public, and those are all used up.
right, 'cause I was gonna say, if you had N35s, swap them with the fire department for disposable,
Right,
because those could become scarce.
yeah,
You know,
and who knows, we may need them at the next voting, depending on what goes on.
Yeah.
Anybody else for Old Home Day Committee?
I wanna say thank you to the volunteers.
Yes.
I appreciate it, I think the town will appreciate it too. If anything, I'll appreciate the ice cream.
Well, you're a server, right?
Well,
But it's a good event, and like you guys said,
Taste
the
testing.
volunteers is tough to get.
Yeah, don't lick the spoon this year, Mike.
I've put appeals out on the, community page. Everybody wants to come, but nobody wants to work it, so
Right.
it falls on all this 70-year-olds.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you guys for coming in.
The talent show features Woody in his go-go dancing routine, so you guys want to
Thank you, whether you were available, whether you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out of town.
I sort of touched my date.
Yeah, we'll be putting the tents up on, Friday morning.
Yeah.
And so if you wanna come have some fun, pound some
All right.
steaks, you're more than welcome.
Thanks, guys. Was this on the agenda from last week, meeting room use, cause we talked about that last week.
Mike asked me to put it on.
Again?
Yeah,
yeah, I just got, I got an update on that regarding the garden club.
Yeah,
How there was a monthly use, not a quarterly use. You said last time that they were only, they only have meetings 4 times a year, it's like a monthly use. And, the thing is, I didn't think that was, I thought this was an exception to the policy.
I actually thought we did talk about it being an exception the last time they
And
meeted.
and the thing is, I just wanna make sure
We
that.
just let them all leave.
It's all right. But again, I think the use it should not be, I wanna reaffirm what you said, and I wanna support you on that 100%, that it's by exception, and they have to come before the board for every time they use, any organization before they.
Wanna send them an email just to let them know that? Just tell them we're trying to keep a handle on it, just because we've been asked from different
Can I say something?
sources, yeah?
I don't think any organization outside of the town government should be using this building, because this is the town offices. We got valuable information in here, we got that piece of equipment there. Nobody's being vetted that comes in here, so it just doesn't make sense to even assume that. And you know, there are places that they can hold meetings here in town. They do have to pay a nominal amount of money, it's not much, but they could have a place to meet. Also, that would allow incentive to maybe work towards getting that second floor completed.
That's what I alluded to, I agree with you, I alluded to that, that
but-
drives the issue a little bit further.
None of these people are vetted, we don't know who they are, and I'm not trying to pick on anybody by any means. My point is, everybody's in the same pot. Like I said, there's a valuable piece of equipment right there that could get broken, that the town will have to fix or replace. I really don't
I
think,
just wanna say, what Dave, and we all came to a consensus last time, it would be by exception, and it would have to be for the board, and arrangements would have to be made if they were approved for a security, who's gonna open, close, and cleanliness, and some of the rules. And the thing is, we allowed the garden club as an exception to the policy at one time. And the thing is, we don't wanna say no to any community activity, but but we don't wanna open the doors, and this is open for business, we're not doing that.
Okay, and I understand you don't wanna say no to community activities, but
As an exception policy.
But the problem is that these people, again, you don't know who's coming in, you don't know, coffee spilt in that machine that machine's gone, you know? You're gonna have to hire the cleaning person to clean more. You're gonna be doing this rug more. This is a government building, and to me, it doesn't make sense, especially when there are available, venues here in town. Like I said, $50, $25, whatever it costs them, that's very nominal. And for an organization to spend that little bit of money, it doesn't make sense not to. And rather than come in here and possibly do damage, or if I've got information in here and somebody takes it, I'd be a little upset.
Well, point noted, and, when they do come in front of us, Leo, we'll have some of that information. in
I
the
don't
background.
understand what kind
I
of
just
exception
learned
it
that
would
there
be.
was other places, just within the last couple of weeks, that they could use in town, cause I wasn't aware of them, but I was just made aware
Well,
of
and
those.
again, I'm not trying to pick on anybody, but again, as an example, the garden club always met someplace. They used to meet at homes, now they don't wanna do it at home, but they used to meet at, I think, the church vestry.
Right,
And it wasn't expensive at all, but they decided they don't wanna spend the money. I'm not picking on them, I'm just saying as an example. So, there are places that people can meet here in
Right.
town. Unfortunately, everybody wants, if we could have that second floor up there, that whole point would be moot, they'd have a place.
right,
See, he's voicing my concerns, cause when I left here, I thought about that, and that was a concern I had, was for years they met somewhere, suddenly they need a venue, but at the same time, I can remember the front door of the library being left unlocked, cause they forgot to lock it. Now, it isn't maybe the person coming in, it's whoever may come in after the fact, they could probably say, oh, that's open, and do
Right.
something, so that's a concern I have, is it's a governmental building, and we're allowing people to come in, and if they forget to lock the door, and if they had a passcode that they had to enter for the alarm, and somebody goes out the wrong door, and they leave, the alarm goes off. So I have concerns of people coming in to an area that technically should be used for town purposes. And it's unfortunate that we don't have another spot where they can meet and use, but, and we don't. But they've met somewhere, and that's, anybody that's coming here to talk to us, cause they're all in the same boat. That
Right.
if we choose one, it's difficult to discriminate against another one,
right,
so,
That's the thing Bob brought up, once you open the door,
right.
you can't say no to another organization because we don't like that organization,
Right.
because.
Well, we did have one come up that was a political organization, so we did say.
right.
Yeah.
That's a
Cause,
whole,
cause we've taken that position, regardless of what denomination it is, we've never allowed them to come in and use it.
right,
So, and I don't see why any other organization is exempted either, so where they can come to us. It's a town building for town purposes.
yeah,
It'd be nice if we could do this, but I don't see where you're gonna have the controls that you need to assure that the building stays secure.
That's the thing I brought up, because the building department is wide open, if no one's here. And it requires, as Leo said, cleaning afterwards, and we have no rules, spilling coffee, spilling food stuffs, the wide open in there, and so, I don't know, I like to go with Bob, maybe we should just put everything on hold as far as not opening this up for general use for the
well,
town.
we've already done that.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure we reaffirm that thing.
They gotta come in front of us, so then we'll, as a board.
I'll make sure I clarify that with the garden club, cause I was under the assumption it was this one time. I was not aware that it was every month that they meet and they were looking to meet somewhere. That's not what we had approved at one time.
Yep, so just clear it up with them, and if they wanna meet here again, have them come in front of us and. we'll
No,
talk
in
about it
fact,
more.
in fact, I would say no to them, because the thing is,
Yeah, it's not, we should do it as a board.
oh, granted, but the thing is, what I'm saying is that I looked at that as an exception, they couldn't find a place, it was a last minute deal, we were helping the garden club out. I'm not even gonna entertain the idea of them on a regular basis coming
Right,
here at
but
all.
instead of her noticing them, we'll talk to them as a
Sure,
board as we
sure,
agree.
okay.
Can I
Give
speak,
them the reasons.
can I speak on my opinion on this, meeting thing? We did the same thing when this was before my time, but I thought the whole purpose of the community center was to do this, to allow places for our residents who
You got
not
it.
necessarily government, have a place to meet, whether it's for a funeral, a birthday party, something to that effect, and that never came to fruition. That's gonna happen here the same way, that's a government building right there. Now, who's gonna monitor whether it's like, is theater, or, something, activity for the kids gonna supersede
That's
an
actually,
organization
that's actually all being in the works and it'll be approved
that's
by
gonna.
your department after the selectmen look at the list, once that's up and running, but let's not get the cart in front of the horse on that, Bill.
No, I'm
okay?
just saying that it could continue even with that, if
But
we,
with the community center, they charge, if you didn't take
I'll
care
get you.
of cleaning up and everything, they charged a fee to take care of that. is
The
what they
different
did
thing
in
with the
past,
community center
so.
is, you have a gymnasium floor you gotta worry about, but there's not tables set up to use, it's not convenient up there right now, the way it's set up, and had been changed from those type of uses to more recreational type uses. And I remember when, in the center of the school, they had that community center area there that people could meet in right amongst all the classrooms, right as you entered the building, and that hasn't been used like that recently either, so.
right near the library, as you walk in
Yeah.
front, okay.
That center was also supposed to be a community meeting area, and that hasn't been used in a long time, but.
Well, the other thing also is, it would take a lot of pressure off Lean having to say, come and see, always answering their questions instead of just saying it's not allowed. That would make more sense. Plus, I've been on the committees where we couldn't meet for a certain reason, so we moved our meeting a little bit. But all of a sudden, somebody's using it to make, Play-Doh or whatever, and so it's taking away from the business of the town. It just could become a nightmare of, scheduling for Lean to have to try to juggle things all the time,
Well, I've only had 2 requests in 4 years.
Look, well, but now it's starting.
Well, we've denied 3 in 4 years.
Yeah.
We denied 2 political ones and we allowed the garden club 1 time.
I think part of it was the churches were shut down for COVID, so there were all these areas that people regularly met, like the historical society would meet at the church.
So I guess what I'm saying is, as selectmen, we got big enough shoulders to talk to people about it. If it's
Yeah.
not a circumstance that's abnormal, which we wanna allow, like we did that one time, then we'll be the big boys and say no,
Yeah, well,
so.
I don't see the real need to open up our
If
government
it comes up more
buildings.
often, then we'll make a motion to,
Shut it down.
shut it down, but right now it hasn't been a huge problem, so,
Yeah, okay, that's just the way I think about it,
I
that's
think
all.
we can put it to bed.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so moving on to mailbox items. We got a good bunch of them. Okay. We have a library trustee that has resigned, Phil Kimball. We have a new appointment for Karen Lassard. I guess I'll read it since it's here. I'll make a motion to appoint Karen F. Lassard, town of Dunbarton, in the county of Merrimack, as a library trustee. And said town of Dunbarton with a term ending 2022. Do I have a second?
So,
I second that. And for the record, I made a pen change, so the date was wrong on that.
Oh, yeah, I seen that.
Okay.
I read it right though, Mike.
You read it correctly, the motion was called for the vote now.
Okay,
Call for the vote, take.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I almost moved on, huh?
I know, it's teamwork, teamwork.
Sorry about that, Bob, remind me if I don't do that. All right,
hey, Mike, you misspelled your name.
I know.
Mike, I'll let you bring this up. We have a civic volunteer renominate for a local volunteer.
And the thing is, we have there's an email I think we should all look at. It was sent by one of our state representatives, Mary Beth Waltz, and the thing is, there's an opportunity to recognize one of our, at a national level, one of our volunteers in town, because of volunteering is being so, shall I say, there's a lack of it. This is an opportunity to recognize one of our volunteers.
Just so you know that, we're gonna nominate a person to be on the committee, I guess, right, Mike? You would be on a committee of,
Well, I
People.
think, why don't we just take it for, read the instructions, we have until October to get it in,
right?
You
and,
want me to forward that email to them?
I'm sorry?
I can forward your email to them.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, it doesn't say here, anything about the email here, but,
Oh, it's probably the link that's
It's-
on there, I didn't.
yeah, it's the link that's on here. But one thing is, they're gonna try and, in towns of 25,000 and under, they're gonna try and nominate, civic heroes, they're calling 100 of them. The top prize will be $20,000, second prize runner-up will be 10, and, the runner-up, last prize is, 5,000, so,
what it is that we have to compete, you have to write a narrative. And so the thing is, we have to identify a strong candidate we like.
Yep.
And the things that would compete nationally, and we have to write a super duper narrative.
okay.
And so the thing is, we got a couple months to work on it, if we wanna participate in it, but I'd say, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
If you're volunteering to send that up, Mike, I'd like to see you go ahead and see it through.
I'd make that motion.
Oh,
All
you
right,
guys are
I'll
so
second
nice.
your motion, Bob. Mike is signed up.
Okay, but the thing is, what I like to do is.
If we lose, Mike, it's all coming back on you.
Alright. The thing is, what I like to do is come up with let's say, a list of candidates and then discuss it in a non-public one of these days.
Sure.
Probably next meeting.
Okay. Motion's been made, so moved. All right, we have an estimate here from GMC Home Improvements, to replace the landing outside the meeting room exit, which is that door right there, and construct a new shed roof. It looks like there's a total of $1341.40 with materials and labor to construct it. And, looks like he's gonna have a veranda decking on it which is composite decking with a pressure treated post and a roof, and everything's trimmed out in AZAC. So, it'll help the drainage on that side of the building from his estimate. That's something we've asked him to do, right?
Mm-hmm. He's actually the handyman that we've asked to do a lot of the
I
repairs.
think it seems reasonable. Anybody have an issue with it? Anybody from the public?
This was brought to the board because of from the joint loss.
Yeah. Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the bid from GMC Home Improvements for an estimate to, replace the landing outside the meeting room and construct a shed roof of $1341.40 dated 3/28/21.
Just a question on that?
Yep.
The shed roof, is that so the smokers can have a place to have shelter from the,
I think it's to protect the,
Can't talk about it till it's a second.
motion's been
Okay.
made
okay, I seconded it.
and
Now you can
second,
talk about it.
open for discussion.
But the thing is, I'm wondering, is that for the smokers, or why do we put a roof over it?
I think it's to protect the, bottom
Easy.
part of the decking and stuff, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we have a rule, 20 feet from
Yeah.
a
Okay.
government building.
so I wanna see
Policy.
smokers out there, sitting out there smoking, okay, good.
I'm glad it's 20 feet up too. Okay, motion been made, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, you get by the smokers. You're gonna get shot, you keep that stuff high. Okay. This next subject, I came in and met with Donna when I signed earlier this week. We have a piece of property here at the Mills Family Trust and Ray U. Mills cash surety on Grapevine Road. It's a subdivision that was done.
Should be Tenny Hill. Isn't it? Oh, no, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
should be
you're right,
Grapevine
no,
Road, okay.
you are correct, I'm sorry.
All right,
Um,
there is a, subdivision that was done, and it's dated April of 2007, where we held a $1,600, I believe, let me just double check, but yeah, the cash surety amount of $1,600 to determine as 8 monuments to be set at $200 each was submitted by Ray Mills on January 28, 2008, in order to get the plan recorded and a CO issued. Several people have gone out and checked the site, and they've checked the corners and the boundaries. And we have a letter here that was addressed to Mike Kaminsky, the chairman of the board, where when there are iron pipes and posts and old monuments at corners, they did not want them replaced with new granite bounds. And that came from the Land Surveyors Board Administrator, the Technical Division, Christine Horn from the state of New Hampshire. And since we have that, Donna would like to release that $1,600 cash surety, cause I went over the plan with her. And all of the monuments that are needed are in place as either iron pipe or drill holes in the stone walls. So, the drill holes are all in place and presently in stone walls, which you wouldn't wanna take the wall apart to put a granite bound in. And the rest are iron pipes, and we went through the whole subdivision and checked them. And they've been checked by two of the previous administrators in that office and building inspectors, and after reviewing the plan with her, I felt pretty confident that we should release this $1,600, because it's been a change in the planning board where they always wanted new bounds set, to that if there are iron pipes and or drill holes in walls, to leave them as they are now. Unless they're loose, I had to replace one on one of my subdivisions cause they were loose. So, I'd like to release that cash surety if you guys are in agreement as a board. Donna has suggested to release it, okay.
Let's make an emotion, I'd like to make a motion to release the $1,600 bond being held for the Mills Family Trust.
Okay,
Second.
for some reason they call it a cash surety, I guess it's the same as a bond. Okay. Motion been made and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
I think we need to vote on it though.
yeah, okay.
Yes. Okay,
So we have the vote in now, you can let her know,
yep, I will, well,
and she's just trying to clean up some old business, which is helpful.
Yep.
Okay. I had sent in to Lane an email from the Town Hall Library Restoration Committee. They would like to borrow the American flag and also the Town of Dunbarton flag for their float on Old Home Day Parade. And I told her I would bring it in front of the board, did not wanna make a decision myself. Does anybody have an issue with that? They just wanna use them on their float?
Can I ask a question on that?
Sure you can.
That's for the garden club?
Yes,
Restoration Committee.
restoration,
Old Home Day they're having a combination float,
Yeah.
garden club and the flags are gonna go in the middle
Well,
of the two.
Ena was asking me about having John Gola, cause he's one of our American Legion members.
Yeah,
Be on the float with the American flag, and we were gonna supply one.
oh, good.
oh, well,
So if you do that, do you mind having the Dunbarton one as well, or not?
No, I don't have them, but, I was gonna let John Gola or Ena use our flag from the American Legion.
Oh, great,
Okay, so that would don't be for the same purpose, right?
yeah,
Yes,
she
it
didn't,
is.
she didn't
I
realize,
confirmed it today.
she didn't realize, Fred, that you had one probably to use.
Yeah, cause she asked us if they can, have John, instead of him marching with the American Legion, get on the float and hold the American flag. So
Okay.
we were gonna supply the flag.
You'll talk with her, I guess?
I guess so, okay.
Okay, let her know that we don't have a problem with the other one.
It's New Hampshire and Dunbarton.
We'd like to make sure that somebody brings it right back in though.
She said that she'd be sure that right after the parade return.
Okay, that's just part of it. They would also like to borrow this easel to put, this easel right here behind Bob, to put up pictures of they're borrowing one, I think, from the library, they'd like to borrow this one, to put up pictures of the new town hall restoration edition, so that they can start showing the general public what that looks like.
I have no problem with that.
No problem with that either.
I think we actually have another one on the other side, it's a little sturdier.
Oh, that'd be great.
I think they should
They
probably.
actually have, I think, 4 or 5 pictures to put up, Lean, so maybe they could use them both.
Okay,
So same thing with that, right after they're done, if they could return that. And then the last question they have is, they'd like to give limited tours like they did in the past. And they just wanted our consent to do that, and they said they're gonna try and make them pretty limited, they're gonna be set up out in front of the doors like they were before, and I told them we didn't wanna overdo the flow of people up there, and,
To me, it helps educate the
Yeah.
population what we're trying to do.
As long as they're small groups,
they did say they were gonna keep
you
it
know,
small.
you know.
I think John had, at one point said it couldn't be more than 25 people up there at a time, so they,
And I don't even think they'll be close to that.
Yeah.
They bring up groups of 3 or 4 people, sometimes a family of 5 or 6.
Yep.
Nothing,
Okay.
okay. Alright, so I guess if you wanna email back to Margaret,
yep,
that everything is okay with that list. I just didn't wanna make decisions without coordinating with the rest of the board. We have a notice of decision here for them to read. I think I brought this to light at our last selectmen's meeting, but the Countryside Homes LLC, which was the previous golf course, got a notice of decision approval for a 25 lot subdivision. And, so that's all set. We then get in a letter of resignation from Rainey Olet, our former moderator. And there was also a notice in here, about who has the ability to, appoint a new moderator, and it looks like it is going to be supervisor of the checklist. And if they don't make one, then the selectmen will have the second shot at it, so right now they're in the works of doing that, and, he did, make it known that, John Trottier, helped out, so they're gonna start there, and thanks again, Fred, for helping out that last voting day as well.
That would be for the next, town meeting and for the school board
That's
meeting,
right.
and then the election would determine who it
Yeah.
would be. Okay.
That's right. So it will still be on the ballot,
Yes, it has to be.
okay?
Can I
Oh,
clarify
yeah.
something there? The way the RSA's read for the school district moderator, if there's an absence, the school district clerk appoints a moderator pro tem. Or the school district clerk is the moderator.
For the school district, but not
For the
us.
school, yes, not the town.
Yeah.
And, the town, the supervisors of the checklist appoint.
Yeah.
So I was talking with one of the school board members, I said, well, they told me this year the school district meeting is gonna be after town meeting.
Yeah, that's.
So I said, well, it should be no problem, because they have the school elections at the town meeting, okay, so
Yeah.
you're electing your school board school district moderator.
Yeah.
But they don't see it that way, they say it's a school district meeting where they get, I said, no, they don't. But there might be a controversy there, but anyhow, I got a email the other day from Kayla, your daughter-in-law, is that your daughter-in-law, Kayla Knoll?
Not my.
She's a
daughter.
school district clerk?
It's my brother Roger's son's wife, so what's
Okay.
it make me,
Cause she emailed me, wanted to know if I'd be the moderator. And I said, that 21 years is enough, I said, no. But I told her John Trottier was interested in doing it.
But
And,
he's- would he do the school as well? Did Randy
Yes.
do the school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Cause everything I've had, I've given to John already, so I
Yeah.
told him I help him out, so. But, there might be a little, it's not anything but the town to elect the school.
Right.
It's the school district clerk, the way the RSA's read.
I think, like you said, it's a tough position to fill, and I think if John does volunteer to do this next meeting, that I think you'll see his name on the ballot and it might go smoothly.
Yeah.
Unless we get somebody else that, wants to be,
It's true.
it's not something everybody wants to do, get up and speak in front of everybody, but. Okay, thank you, Fred, for the clarification on that.
So
As
the
a
thing is-
board, do we wanna send something to Rainey to thank him for his, years as a moderator? Wanna put something together for us, Lean, we can look at our next meeting?
Lean,
yeah.
okay. We just make sure the supervisors of the checklist are aware of their responsibilities to appoint a moderator.
I think that is all in here, Linda Peters knows about it, and this also got sent to all
Okay,
of
I
them.
just wanna make
Yeah,
sure. that's-
we're actually CC'd on it,
Okay.
he was directed to the
Yeah.
trustee.
Peters.
Excellent.
the-
Huh?
the clerk.
Peters.
Okay,
Cut that out.
there's gonna be a public hearing at New Hampshire Department of Safety to adopt a proposed rulemaking, Safe Seat 82001, to establish a blue alert program to be used when in the line of duty a law officer has been killed or injured or is missing, scheduled for August 12th, 2021. That's my birthday, I won't be going.
I think it should pass one.
Yeah. And we have an update here from, Chris Remillard. And he's saying that, the police car we're expected to get in, may be delayed till 2022. He's just calling to check in on it, and, apparently they're still waiting for some chips to come in. So, that is the end of the mailbox. I'm gonna open it back up for public comment. Any public comment?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
So, I directed someone to go to check out the minutes of the meeting, last meeting, and they weren't posted. And I went online to check, and the last minutes were posted mid-June, so I'm just.
Which, Board of Selectmen, the
Yeah,
meeting?
selectmen's, yeah, Board of Selectmen
So
meeting.
the 22nd is not up there, is that
No,
what you're?
mid-June was the last one I found. Everything else said no meeting.
I'll double check it.
we will,
So I just, bringing it,
maybe with the new thing, we'll have to double check and make sure that they get posted on there.
because, I directed them to the video. They watched the wrong video. So I directed them to the minutes, and the minutes weren't there, so.
Oh, it happens.
Okay,
Yeah, no, I just.
Technology.
Yeah, well, just bringing it forward, that's all.
Yeah.
That's it.
Fred, anything else?
No, the only thing I'd just like to say is that, going back to Ray Mills on the
Yeah.
iron pipes, to me, that's a better solution than 4x4 squares, they get buried.
Right,
And iron pipe, you can find them with a metal detector,
Yeah.
so. I think that should be some flexibility in that when the,
I do know the new bounds, I think, come with a metal insert in them.
yeah.
I just know it was a, I never thought it was so controversial being on the, serving on the planning board.
Yeah,
It is a issue of controversy
Yeah.
between surveyors and the planning board and people who don't wanna change anything.
right,
But I think it was finally cleaned up, because the surveyors kept coming in saying, we're not supposed to touch those corner bounds that are
Correct.
pre-existing.
right,
And the board said, it's our prerogative, we want you to change them, and so they're like, we understand what you're saying, but by law, they're set up to do a code as a surveyor, and they're not supposed to,
Right.
and,
what
it
if
become
you're,
very heated,
what if you're on a budding town line,
right?
you know? That other town don't want you to change them.
Yeah, and the drill holes in the stone walls on the major rocks, you shouldn't be moving those walls
Yeah,
over
No,
to put that in either, so I think that one was an easy one, and I think the planning board is finally succumbing to the idea.
I never thought it'd be so controversial, but it was.
But that letter that Mike got when he was, the representative on there, I think really put an end to it. But
and supposedly you put a drill hole in a stone wall, it's supposed to be a stone that's 3 people have to pick up,
Right,
so they can't move it.
yeah. Okay, Woody, you had your hand up.
Couple of quick things, the windows have been put in the trailer,
Yeah,
transfer. The threshold's been replaced,
okay,
and just a little FYI for you, a little good news for a change. We had, a week ago yesterday, we had a raccoon in our glass dumpster.
yeah,
It got all cut up, long and short, I called Fishing Game, they gave me some names to call, and, with the help of a local trapper, helped us collect it. I took it up to Henniker, up to Maria Colby. She nursed it. It was a female with little ones. Nursed it back to health. Dropped it off 3 days later. back at the transfer, so it could be back with its family.
No,
Back in the glass container.
How's the light?
Huh?
How's the light situation with the new windows?
Good, in the trailer, yeah. Not, we're not talking the building, no, in the
gotcha,
trailer.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I had one other thing, before Old Home Day, I know we had talked about it, but I'd like to get that, voting stuff put into the trailer,
I contacted those people, yeah, we'll get somebody right out there,
nothing.
we'll put it in a trailer, but it's not secure and I don't know how watertight it's gonna be. I mean, I have no
Well,
problem
you
putting
can
it in.
close the door, it's just hard to close, right?
You can close it, but you can't shut them, you can't latch them. They will not latch.
So
I
secure.
mean, I can latch them, but I'm gonna bend them doing it.
It won't seal though.
Nope, I won't seal. And like I said, I did what you said, send her another email, so that's what I did.
You want me to try?
You try it, she got right back to me
Link, can you send her an email from the selectmen and,
and that's what I told her, I said, the selectmen want someone out here ASAP to check this out. Yeah, we'll get somebody right out, and it's,
I'd just like that
2 weeks
area
later.
opened up, especially before we have people going up and traveling through there.
yeah, we'll put it in there.
Yeah, okay. Okay, good, anything else? Alright, thank you, you're staying for our.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll make a motion to go into non.
Can I just,
I wanna bring up.
Oh, you wanna do that stuff first, oh yeah, alright, town administrator, we'll bring it back to you to start.
I just wanted to let the board know that my office has been extremely busy. We're still, gathering information for that right to know request. We're being audited by the Department of Revenue now that COVID's behind us. There's a very, very, very extensive list of our file records, including veterans, elderly, solar exemption, sales, history that we're needing to provide them. And then continuing the training with reconciling, and then we're preparing the records to export a lot of it to the new auditing firm. So we've been very, very busy. The energy level is still very positive and very good, so it's been a good working week for all of us to just keep real busy.
Okay, good. Mike, you had something?
Just on the, I had a follow-up from a town lawyer regarding the police chief's new contract.
Yeah.
I just wanna say that the lawyer did a great job in reviewing it, made some great recommendations. I made a copy, Lee made a copy of everyone, so you
Yeah.
have a copy of his comments. I've rewritten the contract, incorporated 90% of it, there was one comment I just thought was off the wall, I thought was what we had was adequate. So I have a new contract for review, and I'd like to send it out for homework for you guys, and if you have comments, that next meeting we can talk about it some more. But I think we're about 99% there, but I need your consensus after you review it and look at it.
Okay, great. Bob, did you have anything this week?
No,
Okay, and I'm good, so, I'll start again with that motion to go to non-public for RSA 91-A 3, Roman numeral 2, B,